Welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Wednesday, January 8th, 2014. The big American commercial insurer FM Global, based up in Johnston, Rhode Island, has bought an option for $500 million of private terrorism reinsurance. Supposedly, according to London market sources, they have purchased the option from Berkshire Hathaway. The whole option is contingent upon whether or not the U.S. Congress will pass a renewal of the U.S. Terrorism Risk Insurance Protection Act, known as TRIPA. That's not going to be scheduled to be renewed until January 1st, 2015, but FM Global is obviously hedging its bets. One underwriting source said that the program structure would provide FM with $500 million of terrorist cover excess above $500 million. So they've got $500 million in place, so this is another $500 million that they're buying from Berkshire. The rate online is supposed to be about 8.5%, which is not cheap. FM Global and Willis Re, which broke the deal, have both declined comment, and of course Berkshire has saved nothing. Meanwhile, Zurich Insurance Group has continued to fill out its executive ranks. They've appointed AIG executive Robert Dickey as its chief operating officer. The 54-year-old Dickey is coming from AIG, where he has the role of chief operations and systems officer. Dickey's appointment comes 3 weeks after Zurich named George Quinn, the finance chief at Swiss Re, the permanent replacement for Pierre Wauthier, who committed suicide last year. Here's an interesting story from Applied Insurance Research, AIR. They're saying that a single Category 5 hurricane, which is obviously pretty rare, making a number of landfalls on the U.S. coastline, impacting both Miami and New York, could wipe out as much as 60% of the cat bonds that have been sold. U.S. wind or hurricane risk makes up about 70% of all cat bond risks that are currently being held. According to AIR, this event, which would be a hurricane simulation, that is a 1 in 10,000 year event. It's fairly rare, making its probability of occurring at 0.01%. It would make landfall in Monroe County, Florida, before slamming Miami, then hit North Carolina, and finally New York and New Jersey. That would be quite some storm. If it came, it would cause insured losses of about $385 billion. Royal Sun Alliance has confirmed that accounting problems at its Irish unit were indeed confined to the Irish unit. The problems had caused the company to issue a shocking profit warning, 3 of them actually, back in November. The UK insurer has commissioned the accountancy firm PricewaterhouseCoopers to look at the Irish unit. RSA issued a statement yesterday saying, "We remain confident in our view that the financial and claims irregularities identified in November were isolated to Ireland." Since the Sunday Telegraph broke the story about the Pricewaterhouse review, RSA stock has gone up about 7%. There's been another Canadian oil train derailment. This one is in the eastern part of the country, in New Brunswick. And actually, yes, New Brunswick. It was a 122-car train. The locomotive and 17 cars have gone off the tracks. Several of the cars remain flaming as we speak. Aerial coverage is being instituted. Nobody has yet reached the site, which is in a very sparsely populated area. The Canadian National Railway is very concerned that propane cars could explode, according to one source saying that our biggest concern are the propane cars. If they happen to explode, we're looking at major damage. No kidding. Propane cars are bombs. At least 9 passengers have been killed in India when a fire broke out on 3 sleeper coaches on a luxury train, the Bandra Derails Express train, in the western India state of Maharashtra. The fire occurred on a train when it was about 90 miles from Mumbai. Apparently a guard at a train level crossing noticed the fire and alerted the train. Meanwhile, in South Korea, the United States military is sending 40 new Abrams M1A2 battle tanks, 800 additional soldiers, and 40 Bradley fighting vehicles, all part of an effort to beef up deployment on the South Korean peninsula. The Americans have 28,000 troops there. Meanwhile, north of the 38th parallel today, that knucklehead Dennis Rodman was serenading Kim Jong-un on his birthday. Never can figure these things out. Here's another one you can't figure out. If you think you have logistical and supply chain problems, well, apparently they're not confined to those who do business on the legal side of the street. German authorities are reporting that dozens of containers filled with bananas and cocaine were delivered to 5 Berlin supermarkets due to what the police are calling a logistical error by drug smugglers. Supermarket staff in Berlin discovered containers with a total of about 310 pounds of cocaine, about $6 million on the street value in euro terms, according to the German police. We were, of course, quite surprised. I don't know where the mistake was in the perpetrator's delivery chain. No doubt those perpetrators do not have supply chain insurance. Hopefully not anyway. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.